What's going on, y'all? Another day, another step closer to cleaning up this truck. I'm making some food, some tuna steak again, some turkey bacon, some veggies, and gonna have a bagel with cream cheese. That's our breakfast slash lunch. Last night a miracle happened, man. So my delivery at Aldi was supposed to be tonight. And if you're a truck driver and you know anything about Aldi, it doesn't happen. They don't take you early. And I just acted dumb. I went in and they took me last night a whole day early. I might have to go buy a lottery ticket or something. So right now I'm waiting on a load here. It's 2 p.m. I tried to check in early, but they won't check me in. It is what it is. In the meantime, I'm gonna replace my dock bar airbag on my trailer. And we're gonna unbox this coolant diesel heater, which is the HLN that I have. I have the cab diesel heater, and now we're gonna unbox this coolant diesel heater because this would be sweet to have in the winter. Fire this thing up for an hour or two and heat up that engine. So we'll see how that works out. So we're gonna slap this thing on our head and get to unboxing and then see kind of first impressions, because I've never unboxed one of these. I don't know what it looks like or anything, so go from there. Alrighty then, I know we're recording. We got a live view right here. Bing bada boom. Let's unbox this thing. Like I said, HLN diesel heater, and the one under the bed's been working great, man. I'm very happy. I love the thermostat. Now, you know, obviously it's all about longevity, because, like, you know, why would you pay more if you don't know if it lasts better or whatnot? So we'll see how this thing lasts. This one's obviously packaged differently. That one under the bed is 4 kilowatts. Pretty sure this thing is freaking 10 kilowatts. So that's a lot of juice to heat up an engine, but also that's a lot of battery juice being taken out to keep in mind. Got your instructions. Who needs instructions, right? And that's a big old harness, which I'm assuming this harness is probably identical to the one that I just installed. Yeah, I mean, it looks identical. I don't see why the harness or anything would be any different. Got your intake and your harness and everything. Yep. So really the only thing different would be this diesel heater. Which, like, what the hell is this? Exhaust? Man, that's a big old exhaust. I guess because it's 10 kilowatt hours. Now you could put this as a muffler in the car. That's massive. And there is the diesel heater. I don't think there's anything under. This thing got some weight to it, man. How the hell do we get it out? There we go. Man, yeah. This thing is pretty beefy, man. Like, really beefy. I probably should have gotten the smaller version, because they offered me the other one or this one. And I was like, screw it. Let's go with the big boy, the 10 kilowatt. That's like a water heater for a house. Jeez. Aquano 10K. That is massive. So I'm assuming here. We'll have to read the directions. So we'll see. But obviously one of these is your, I'm assuming this is a 5/8 port. One of these is your feed, and I don't know what this is. Maybe your return or something. Down here, I'm assuming it's fuel. But it's cool, especially like if you live in like northern climate. There we go. There's another 5/8 port right here. So you have down here, I'm assuming, is your exhaust, and your intake, and then your fuel. Where did I just see fuel? This is probably your glow plug on the bottom, and then your fuel. Your fuel is up top, which is weird, so you'll have to run it into the cab and on the top. So your intake, exhaust, fuel, and then one port is here, and then another port is, where did I see it? Right here. So just got to figure out which one of these is intake and which one of these is the return. But yeah, that's definitely beefy. I'm gonna be installing this under the bed in the corner. At least that's the plan. That's a bulky sucker, man. That's definitely a different style of mounting plate. I guess generally speaking, you would actually install this outside, not inside the truck, which is why it doesn't have the plate or whatever. But feels very solid. I mean, this is steel, which is like the only thing with steel is like, hey, it can introduce corrosion into the system. That's the only thing, but I don't think internals are steel. But the harness on this feels much better and way better done than the other one, so we'll see. But like I said, this is 10 kilowatts. I gotta see what kind of wattage this uses to make sure, like, you know, how long I can run this. Because if I'm running that diesel heater and this diesel heater and it's cold, that might cause some trouble. But yeah, I'm gonna go through all this, see what kind of stuff we can come up with, where we can install it. Man, you could do some curls with this. Like, it's got some weight, I'm telling you. Yeah, let's put this thing away and catch you in a bit. All right, so I figured I would finish off the video, so I'm not just cutting off there. Basically, yeah, long story short, I'm still at this shipper. I finally dropped my trailer to get loaded, and I'm gonna be going home. As far as that that diesel heater goes, it's impressive build quality. It's all metal, but I didn't realize it was that big, and I didn't realize like how open it had to be around it, really, to get all the hoses and fuel fittings. I guess generally speaking, that thing is meant to be somewhere in the engine bay, not exactly under the bed. So I'll have to figure out. I mean, that was the unboxing review, so you can see what it looks like. The quality seems good, but I'm gonna reach out to them, maybe get the 5 kilowatt and maybe fit it somewhere in the engine bay instead. So that's the plan. We'll see what happens, but figure I'll let you know. But yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully we get loaded decently quick here, and then we're gonna roll on home and catch you on the next one. Stay safe, keep on trucking. This thing's been acting up. I don't know if it's due to the cold or what, but it keeps saying low battery, even though I have plenty of battery. It's like 30%. But anyways, yeah, I'm sick as a dog. I've been sick with this flu for like last 2 weeks at least. It's been like on and off, and now, you know, we got this nasty weather going on. This morning was like -4 degrees, but figured I'd finally make a video on this coolant diesel heater that I finally hooked up and it's running. I have bad batteries. I gotta replace batteries. Maybe one of them is bad. I don't know. I gotta figure out. I didn't bring my tester with me, but so I have my jumper pack with me to start the truck, since I'm sure my batteries are gonna be drained even more. And I have a trickle charger hooked up, but I don't think that's gonna do much. Look at the water. I don't know. But long story short, it's very cold. Yesterday I drove our new car. We got a 23 Audi Q5, and that thing is a ripper in snow. It's quattro, obviously, 2-liter, 260 horsepower. And I've driven plenty of Audis, but I never got a chance to actually drive them with snow. And man, now I see the hype. I see why everybody buys Quattro. Like, that thing is an absolute beast, and it has all-season tires on, has some Kumhos on there. They're not even like, you know, snow tires, so I can't even imagine with snow. Like, I tried to get that thing stuck. I went in as deep snow as I could find, and it does not get stuck. Especially when you turn off traction control, that thing is ripping through the snow, no problem. And even on the interstate, like, it's so stable. Like, you know, you have low roads that are not cleared off, and it just cruises, man. It's so smooth, and like, taking off, the traction does so good. And like, yeah, we're very happy with the purchase. Obviously bought it used, has 17,000 miles on it when we got it. It has like 18,000 now, and it's a great little car, man. We just needed an SUV, and we've been shopping around for one for a while. But off topic there, we're gonna get to the truck, hopefully get this thing started and see what kind of temperature the coolant will be at with that thing running for 24 hours. And I also have my inside the truck cab heater on as well. And then these heaters also have a Wi-Fi remote, so instead of draining my battery maybe like an hour or two before I get to the yard, I could just turn them on from home if I have hotspot, which I'm working on that. I don't have a hotspot yet. I used to have that Nomad hotspot, but don't have that yet. But yeah, that's the plan. We're gonna get to the truck, and the stupid part is I don't have ELD, obviously. And if you know anything about setups and trucking, a lot of brokers on highway setups, they want you to have ELD, which Melissa's dad has ELD, but he's been in Bosnia for like a month, so it hasn't been active. So I got to go drive his truck, so it goes into the active status. So we'll see what the hell happens. Hopefully I can get it going. I just hate driving his truck, especially in these conditions, because these Cascadias, they are not too good with snow. Their traction control is not the greatest, and then the fact that it's an automatic, it does not help. But it's nice now he's parked right next to me, so I don't gotta go to a completely different yard or anything. So we'll see how all this works out. Hopefully the yard is cleaned up and we can get his truck connected, and then I can maybe book a load, because the highways are fine. I don't know where I'm gonna end up going, but gotta get something. I haven't worked much. In the last 2 weeks I ran like 4 loads. Last week I was just very sick, went to Atlanta and got a load to Tennessee, delivered same day, and went home empty, like 350 miles. And then the week before that I also worked like 2 loads. So hasn't been the greatest, but that's the plan, guys. I wish I would have brought my battery tester to test those batteries, but we'll see. Yeah, catch you when we get to the yard. Back in the yard, we're gonna get scientific now. As you can see, quite a bit of snow here, man. Ranger danger, ripping right through it. Those manual locking up really did some work. And this grill ads cover was really nice. It really helps with that bad weather. And I even got this to show you. So the ground right now is showing 24 degrees. I wonder how cold the stainless is. 17. But here is this fella. Like I said, I'm having issues with the batteries, so they keep cutting on and off, on and off. But I think it's firing up. I believe it is. Hopefully it does. I'm inflating the tire on Melissa's dad's truck. He's been on vacation for a while. I just drove it. As you can see, that's a lot of snow. There's this little junction box I installed right here. My regular diesel heater is blasted, so that's good. I don't feel this one kicking. I don't think it's turning on. Maybe I didn't turn it on. Because what happened was I had tried to start the truck and it drained the battery, and this thing did not like it, so it went into like some overprotective mode or whatever the hell. As you can see, it's a whole mess inside the truck here with everything.
There's the regular diesel heater. And then this one says it's on. So these are the two. Same HLN. And then, like I said, I also have Wi-Fi controllers. So ultimately, it would be great to have a hotspot and good batteries and be able to connect this. So then I can just turn it on from home. But hopefully this thing turns on. It should. I'll see why it wouldn't. So I can show you. And you can see that's 120 degrees right there. And that's 37. And snow is 14. That's the temperature outside. As you can see, I'm all sniffly and stuffling, whatever the terminology is. This thing, the battery's gonna die out. It was at like 0 PSI. But yeah, guys, that's the plan. I just figured I'd show you the setup, how I got it ran right there. And you can guys see the fuel is not gelled up or anything. It's got a filter, and I installed this connector, and it's still got a vent. And that should be good. Hopefully fires up. So we'll show you. Like I said, these things don't like to be interrupted while trying to start. So that's a big problem with this. So let's see if I try to turn it off. So it's off. And with this, it's very simple because it's literally just a matter of on off. Unlike this, you can set it. I don't know what it's doing, but hopefully it starts and we'll keep you posted. Yeah, it's cold. I got it going. You can hear it running. It's definitely circulating and warming up on me. Hell, see a difference. Just gotta run this cable inside, and that's about it. That's as far as that setup goes. As you can see, this is kind of how I ran here. Had a little junction block here. This is the APU junction block. I connected this vent tube, and then here I just took a piece of galvanized metal, bent it so I can have this thing sit at 45 degrees. And then this is your cab diesel heater from them as well. But I figured I'd show you guys the setup, how I got this ran. And as far as the coolant, the inlet outlet, I got inlet grab from the oil cooler and the outlet back on the water pump. And I think that should be good. But like I said, my batteries are bad, so we're gonna turn this thing off now and disconnect the batteries, take them home with me, and test them out individually and replace if they're bad. Maybe I just have a background. We'll see. Catch you later. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, stay warm.